What's a hernia feel like? The show must go on. Welcome back to Odd Man Sports here on the Game Day. I'm your host, Brandon Perna. I'm also the host of That's Good Sports and That's Good Broncos. I also host at Applebee's on Friday and Saturday and some weeknights, even though I told my manager I can't fucking work weeknights. Stop scheduling me for Wednesdays, Daryl! Now this week on the show, we got the Dak Prescott question no one is asking, the LeBron take absolutely no one is making, and a Steph Curry rant I'm already regretting. But before we get to the show, one quick note. Today is the launch of the Game Day's first annual Who Would Win in a Fight bracket. That's right, 64 of the best athletes in the world squaring off to determine who is the baddest, strongest, hard-bodied, yoked-out brawler in sports. Hypothetically. Now, the 4 number 1 seeds are Zion, Aaron Donald, Joel Embiid, and Steven Adams. And your votes on the Game Day's Instagram will determine the winners of each matchup. Oh wait, what's that? Brady's cut! Brady's cut! Throw in the damn towel! How did LeBron's fists break through all of the Botox? Dinks and Dunks. Well, it's been a couple days since Harry and Meghan sat down with Oprah, and I'd say that was the most uncomfortable conversation involving the Royals since the Kansas City Royals had their players sit through an anti-porn seminar a couple spring trainings ago. Now, as an American, I care way more about Arch Manning than I do about little Archie Mountbatten Ginger Windsor or whatever his name is. But more than both of them, I want to know more about what was said in this Just Say No to Porn baseball presentation. All right, men, the road is a battle. We got 81 lonely nights on the pavement this season, but when you're all alone in your hotel room and you're feeling that urge deep in your loins, instead of reaching for your pecker, try reaching for the remote. Turning on the game.
Appreciate this. Deuce is out of quarantine. Hi, Daddy.
Doris. Oh, Doris, you filthy beast. Call back. Porn is one of the few things that kept me feeling normal during the pandemic. And now we got a meaningless NBA All-Star exhibition game played in the middle of the pandemic. Who is the driving force behind this potential super spreader event? This man. Death. And while it's too early to quantify how many lives were lost, how about those half-court shots by Steph and Dame? Oh, they were pretty. Granny may die alone, in a hospital, her last rites read over her Zoom, while her grandchildren play PS5 off screen, but the important thing is we finally got to see LeBron James and Steph Curry on the same team. I think that's a trade-off we're all comfortable with. And finally, in NFL news, Dak Prescott got his big bag from Jerry Jones. The most accurate way I could write the headline for this news about the Cowboys would be, Dallas Cowboys give Dak Prescott a contract that about 22 other teams would have loved to give him, and the 10 that would debate it already probably have a good quarterback, but still might consider Dak as an upgrade. And that's why I'm not allowed to title my own videos anymore. But thanks to social media, we got this touching photo of Dak and his brother celebrating the deal. And my reaction to this image was probably the same as yours. Can somebody please hang that mirror? And then we've got Lay's potato chips, plain Lay's. Can we get some Ruffles up in this bitch? Dak, you can afford Ruffles, my friend. Gold-encrusted Ruffles cut from potatoes grown in the rocky soil of the Irish shore. And do not get me started with the mismatching camo shoes and camo shirt. Camo on camo, Dak? Dak, you're mixing desert camo with woodland camo. This is the most egregious fashion faux pas since J.J. Watt's hunting camo jersey. But don't worry, Houston. When it looks like your stadium is empty for the next 5 years, don't worry. There are people there. They're just wearing camouflage. Money talks. And this week we're talking about a topic close to my heart. Not my ribs. Charity. And let me be the first person to make the following request. Can professional athletes, teams, and leagues stop giving money to charity? At least in the way many are doing it right now? I recently raised over $10,000 to help support the fight to end Alzheimer's. How did I do it? I set a goal of $10,000 and then a lot of generous people donated. But the kind of giving that I take issue with is players and teams tying charitable contributions to specific on-field accomplishments. Like they did in this year's NBA All-Star Game where Team LeBron was playing for TMCF, the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, while Team Durant was playing for UNCF, the United... as a white person, I'm not sure I can say this word. The United, Inward College. No, somehow that seems even worse coming from me. Anyway, at stake was some serious dough for the two charities, roughly $1 million to the winner of each quarter, with another $3 million going to the winner of the game. So what happened? LeBron's team whooped Durant's team, winning 3 of 4 quarters, and then the game. And those people counting on UNCF for help with college tuition? Sorry. Maybe see if Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid can send you some money after leaving Durant's team shorthanded. They essentially made the same promise Michael Scott did in the Scott's Tots episode, promising college tuition for everyone, and then handing out laptop chargers as a consolation prize. But it gets even more awkward when a player ties his donation amount to some stat. $100 for every strikeout or $1,000 for every touchdown scored. A few years back, Steph Curry announced that for every made three-pointer, he was donating 3 life-saving bed nets to Nothing But Nets campaign to help impoverished Africans fight malaria. And during that season, Steph Curry broke the record for threes in a season with 272, which means Steph ended up donating 816 life-saving nets. Bravo, Steph. But that same season, Steph also misfired 318 times, meaning 954 human lives weren't saved because fucking Steph Curry couldn't find the bottom of a net. I don't know how he slept at night. Probably on a California king like some rich person, but that year, there was a legitimate case for Steph to be the first player to win MVP and be tried for war crimes in the same season. And look, it's great these millionaires give generously, but let's put an end to having something as frivolous as sports have real-life implications for people in need. We don't need the existence of colon cancer linked to Garrett Cole's strikeouts, and we don't need Rodney's tuition burden affected by whether or not Zion can finish a 360 alley-oop in an all-star game. Just give what you can and don't make charity a game. The only people who should be sweating out the results of these sports should be bettors. Odd man out. Question: what's something people get really excited about in theory, but once they actually see it, are like, oh right, this sucks? Blake Griffin? Yes. Ordering your favorite hard-shell tacos on DoorDash and then waiting for an hour only so they can arrive soggy? Yes. But for the show, for today's argument, we're talking about the movie Space Jam. Now, if you are the type of person who is considering seeing the new Space Jam, let me remind you that as of last week, for the first time in the history of mankind, it's now possible to watch actual video of the actual planet Mars. But if you prefer to spend the finite time you have on this planet watching LeBron James team up with Daffy and Tweety in an imaginary game to save Earth, well, that's your prerogative. I will admit there was a moment when I thought I might watch this movie, mostly to see if the animators could CGI LeBron's hairline. But then I saw this. Space Jam director reworks Lola Bunny from sexualized to strong. It's one thing if you want to cancel the books from my childhood, but when you make it so I can't masturbate to a cartoon rabbit, that's a bridge too far. The only thing the Space Jam reboot has going for it, LeBron's acting. He was actually pretty good in Trainwreck.
My boy got a girlfriend. Like, man, it's been forever.
And he's quite an accomplished actor on the court.
Are you serious?
Oh my goodness.
Not to mention, he had a whole phase where for some reason he acted like he needed glasses. That's acting. That is acting. Like Oscar-worthy stuff. Anyway, my point is, if you are a well-adjusted adult, you should not be excited to see the new Space Jam. To me, Space Jam is like SpaghettiOs. I always hated it. Until due to necessity, I developed a taste for it. Now don't forget to go vote in the game day fight bracket. We've got Russell Wilson versus Bryce Harper.